industry right now, and then because we have to do all of this collectively as ecosystem participants, maybe we can have a discussion as to how we can work together to address these three major priorities or challenges or pain points, depending on how you want to describe them. The first one, as you are correctly pointing out, is to make Udan successful, which is really the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister. It was in our manifesto, the BJP manifesto, for the elections, and then under the direct guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister, we have been working on this because the notion is that right now we only have 75 airports that are operational. We need 150, 200 airports to be operational, so that every Indian is within a couple of hours of convenient air travel, and that it is at an affordable price so that they can get integrated into the national mainstream, do their business, fly to visit relatives, have students traveling around the country. And those of you that have spent time in the Northeast will realize how acute that particular problem of connectivity, particularly regional connectivity, is for the Northeast. Right? And so it's a very important aspect of national integration, very important aspect of building the next India, which of course is what the Honorable Prime Minister wants to do. Just want to welcome the Honorable Minister from Ireland who's just joined us. Minister, Your Excellency, please. We're just having a discussion with a number of stakeholders, CEOs, Shri Ashwini Lohani, who runs Air India, national carrier is here, V.P. Sharma, who runs Pawan Hans, major helicopter. We have the CEO of Zoom Air, the new startup. We have several other CEOs here as well. Of course, the ambassador is there as well. So I'm sure everybody will go around and introduce themselves quickly. But I was just asked to give a few remarks to kick off this discussion. And I just wanted to once again highlight what are the major challenges, priorities for us, and get everybody's views on those. And I was just saying, as I said in my speech also just now, that the regional connectivity scheme is a very high priority for the Prime Minister. We have to make sure that enough people are participating and we are opening up our airports. So any thoughts you all might have on how that scheme can work better is very valuable to us. We'd like to learn about it. The second area that I highlighted in my speech, which I'd like you all to comment on as well, is the notion of a better, more comfortable, more pleasant air travel experience. That's obviously a challenge when air travel is going at 20% a year. So, having a number of followers on social media, I can tell you, I'm constantly hounded by people. Even I have hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. Whenever they lose, literally, they lose their bags, they find things that shouldn't be there in their meals, they don't get a refund on time, if the security lines are too long, you can bet that I'll know about it, within minutes. Because they feel that, our public servants like Minister Breen and myself are accessible 24/7, and our job is to serve them and make sure that their lives are much, much better. So we are on the job 24/7 in these matters, and obviously because we have to work with you all to address these problems and these irritants, how can we work together to be able to ensure a much better air travel experience? So that's a second theme that I think would be very valuable to discuss with all of you. The third one, of course, is, as I was saying again in my speech, is about airport capacity expansion. We have many airports like Mumbai and Pune and Goa, Delhi to an extent, Bangalore rapidly, that are getting very congested, slots are not available, and we have to find ways and methods in which we can take scarce slots and use them better. I don't know, is it that we need wide bodies from between Delhi and Mumbai? I don't know what the answers are. But the problem will get worse before it gets better. And Mumbai is a great example of that because we are already at 48 movements an hour. We can perhaps get up to 50, 55, but that's about, the best that we can do, and that's what global practice is telling us. The new airport that's going to get built is several years away. So what do we do in the meanwhile with an airport like Mumbai, with an airport like Goa, with an airport like Bangalore, where we're already hitting capacity constraints? how do we manage a situation like that? I'd be very eager and curious to know what your thoughts are. So for me, those are top of mind issues that I would like to learn from. Your Excellency, are there some that you would like CEOs here to opine on?
Thank you very much indeed, Honourable Minister. And let me say once more again that I'm delighted to be here with you this morning. I suppose the European aviation industry went through a huge change over the last number of years. And I suppose European airlines started to merge during the downturn in the economy. You had the mergers of Air France, KLM, you had the mergers of British Airways and Spanish Iberia, and you had Lufthansa as well. So you have 3 to 4 big carriers in Europe at the moment, and they're surrounded by the low-cost carriers like EasyJet and our own airline as well, Ryanair. So there was a huge transformation over the last number of years. And of course, you know, as rightly pointed out by the Honourable Minister, aviation sector is growing rapidly. And you as CEOs know that yourself. You're looking at purchasing, leasing fleets in the future. Because from our point of view, Ireland has been a pioneer for aviation over the last 70 to 80 years. I suppose that's why we've been so successful in the aviation sector. The fact that I suppose that Ryanair is now one of the largest operators in Europe, carrying over 100 million passengers, 335 aircraft, we just said to the Honourable Minister earlier. And now that our own airline, the national carrier Aer Lingus, has now become part of the IAG with British Airways, means that Ireland is in a far more focused area as well. So it's one of the great things that we have in Ireland. We have full pre-clearance for people travelling on to the US, which is extremely important. And I suppose from our point of view, as a small country on the western side of the Atlantic, we would see a great opportunity for airlines from Asia to use those pre-clearance facilities onward to the US, because the Irish government would be very favourable, first of all, to ensure that these airlines would pick up fifth freedom rights. They could pick up Irish passengers onward to the US as well, which is another advantage for them as well. So as I said, the whole sector is growing rapidly. We're here to do business with India because we have a lot in common. Our economies are growing rapidly. You're the fastest growing economy in Europe or in the world. We're the fastest growing economy in Europe as well. And of course, given the geographical size of India and the fact that people want to travel between the various states, that's why your regional airlines are going to be a huge focus in the next number of years as aircraft is supposed to become more environmentally friendly as well. We see the Dreamliner, the 787, how important that is for many airline companies. The new Airbus A350 coming online shortly as well. So the environment will play a very important role. Of course, Europe has faced many challenges as well in the airline business. Challenges from the Middle East airlines, from Etihad, from Qatar, from Emirates as well, who don't have the same regulations that European airlines have. So listen, so there are challenges, I suppose, the European aviation sector faces. We're in there at the top of that line, and we're there to assist India and share knowledge as well. That's important. I have already invited the aviation minister to Ireland to look at the whole area of leasing, to talk to, I suppose, one of the most successful companies in the low-cost model airline, and that's Ryanair as well. So I think there's a lot we can share together. We're going to arrange that in 2017, and maybe we'll have information in the meetings as well. And of course, I would invite all the airline CEOs here today that plan to expand their international fees and to expand their expansion into Europe, into the US, etc., to have a look at Ireland as a favourite destination, but to avail of the full free clearance facilities and also for the fifth freedom rights of the Irish government to support as well. And of course, I'm delighted to have with us here today Mr. Patrick Edmonds from the Shannon Airport Authority, who travels the world as well, and who's an expert in aviation as well. So thank you very much, Nina. And informal chat with you later on as well, where we can share common ideas.
fantastic area.